Well, good morning, baseball world out there, all around the place. Everybody that's tuned in Asia, in the USA, and certainly here in Australia. It's a big, warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the World Boys Tournament 2018. And it's proudly brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia and the Summer of Baseball Broadcasting team. We're extremely privileged to be broadcasting live from Blacktown International Sports Park on this Monday for the semi-final series of the tournament that brings together two fantastic teams that have performed well over the first 2 days, and that is Korea and San Diego playing each other here in the semi-final series. Game number one, ground number one, the big main diamond here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Of course, previously the venue for the baseball at the Sydney 2000 Olympics. A great field, a great situation here, a great layout for these two teams to do battle in this fantastic semi-final. It brings together tremendous spirit, passion, talent, and the cultures of these two countries right here in Australia. Good morning, I'm Harrow, otherwise known as Paul Harradine, along with Big Cam Hickson, Mackenzie over here as well from Kentucky, and she's pushing all the buttons. She'll join us later on as well in commentary. And we've got Big Dave Bonham, the Fat Controller, behind us in background as well. He'll be involved throughout the two games this morning and this afternoon, no doubt whatsoever. A shout out to PMAC, who's been called to work, and without question he tried to get the time off, but they said, no, you've got to work your paying job today. So he's away and absent from this, but Mackenzie's filling in and doing a sensational job already. No glitches whatsoever, we might say. So all is in readiness here in somewhat overcast conditions. It's a little bit rainy. There was a rain delay, so we're starting about 15 minutes late, but we're about to get underway for the first pitch. Korea will be batting in the bottom of the inning, but leading off the top of the inning. The batting lineup for San Diego goes this way. The lead-off batter for San Diego is Luis Gracia, followed by Shea Larrabee, and then Connor Bell will be behind him. They are the top three. The defensive lineup for Korea: from right field, Sho Wan Tae; centre field, Sho Si Jin; at left field, it's Lang Xiao Yun. And there's a hit. It's a ground ball straight across to first baseman. We'll give his name to you in a moment. And he gets the out himself. Fields that ground ball, hard hit up the line. Back deep on it, gets across to the bag, calls everybody else off, says, I'll do the job myself, boys. And away we will go. And that first baseman is Jo Seung Hwan at first base that got that out. We'll go to the third baseman is Lee Yu Chan, the shortstop Roo Young Tae, and second baseman Moon Young Bin. First baseman that just made that great play, Jo Seung Hwan, as I said, and the starting battery for Korea. Behind the plate, Lee Jun Sang, and the starting pitcher for Korea, Kim Seung Yae.
So Shea Larrabee in the batter's box, and he rips one towards first base. Great play by Hwan again. On his back, flicks it up to Jay, the pitcher, in cover, and what a play there by the Koreans. Oh, that is the level that these boys need to get to. Just remember, these boys are under 15 years of age. He laid out into the diamond side, the second base side, got it in the backhand, whilst on his backside, flicked it to the pitcher in cover. What a big league play that by the Koreans.
Sensational play. I don't know. He had to first of all get the ball, as you said, Cam. He cut it off, he got it, and he was able to make the throw in a fantastic pitcher's cover by Jay as well, getting across to first base to pull that out on the bag, and got the out easily at the end of the day. The runner was still, a couple of yards away.
So the Koreans starting this semi-final on fire. This one ripped up the middle, going to be cut off by Take, the shortstop. He will fire it across to first base. 1, 2, 3. The Koreans start this one on fire. They have come out all guns blazing in defense and have shut down San Diego 1, 2, 3, and they will come out in the bottom of the first inning. No damage done on the board for the Koreans at the moment. 0-0 halfway through the first.
Yeah, don't worry about starting late. We've just made up 5 minutes straight away, if not 10 minutes in the top of the first inning. What a great start, Cam. You got it right, absolutely. And there we go. San Diego will take the field now in defence, and the Koreans will come out with bats swinging, I believe.
Really goes towards the preparation of the Koreans, doesn't it? Obviously that they have done plenty of warm-up, they've done plenty of getting ready for this game. They get delayed by 15 minutes, means nothing to them. They walk out there, they are ready to roll, and they come up with a couple of sensational plays to start it off to give them all the confidence in the world going into this bottom of the first.
Yeah, well, it's 9:15 in the morning here in Sydney, Australia, and I can tell you that I arrived at the ground at 7:30 a.m, and guess who was in the car park? En masse, the whole Korean team. Management, players, everybody had arrived already, and they were just getting in the gate there at 7:30, so they got here well and truly an hour and a half before the scheduled game start time, and they were set up. And you can see they've been talking to each other in groups all the way along. They've been out warming up individually to start with and as a team, and then their team talk as well. So they're certainly well organised, and the boys are tuned in for this game this morning.
So we probably take this opportunity to run around the defence of the San Diego team that will be taking on Korea in this game. And the defence for San Diego. Harrow, if you want to run through it.
I certainly will. In right field for San Diego, you will see Luis Gracia. In centre field, Anthony Inzunza. At left field, it's Jacob Christian. The third baseman is Connor Bell. Big shout out to the Bell family tuned in. Hector Milan is the shortstop. Shea Larrabee at second base. The first baseman is Stephen Lancia. And the starting battery for San Diego. Behind the plate, Jacob Savoy. And the starting pitcher is Emmanuel Lopez. Ready to throw first pitch is Lopez now.
Yeah, shortstop took. He will be the first in there. Big curve ball from Lopez in for a called strike. Nice start for him. Catcher going to go straight out and have a bit of a word. I'd say they were crossed up on signals on that first pitch.
Yeah, simple to start with. And we've got spectators coming up now in the stand who want to find out the link on YouTube that they need to watch to pick up this game. And the girls have just come up from the Korean supporters side asking if it's on YouTube. Yes, it is on YouTube. Slightly different link to Saturday. We did swap links over yesterday. And people are starting to find that it's being spread out around the crowd now. And links are being sent back around the country and around the world so that people tune into the correct link. So we will be advising people, if you're tuned in, please advise your friends and family about that link, which was adjusted and changed yesterday.
Yeah, so it's YouTube 2018 World Boys Tournament. That's what you need to be looking at. That's what you can send to all your friends and family. The 2018 World Boys Tournament on YouTube.
Thank you, Cam.
We're just going to run Rosenberg out. That's what it was. Obviously, Emmanuel Lopez was losing a little bit of grip on the baseball, and there was no Rosenberg out behind the mound for him. That has been addressed. And so Lopez much happier now. A little bit of sticky stuff on his hands to be able to grip the ball, but that's not going to help him. As Ru Young Tuk, he takes a base on balls. And as we saw with the Koreans and we saw with the Japanese last night, Mackenzie, we know these boys are going to run.
Oh, yes. Those Japanese, they were quick. I mean, you looked up and they were on the next base.
Yep, two pitches. They were around at third, and a pitch later, generally the batter would either drop down a bunt or slap a ball into the outfield and another run across the plate. I imagine we're going to see the same from the Koreans. They are very speedy on the base paths. So we'll see what Took does up there at first base. First pitch off he goes. The throw from Savoy is high. It was in time. Well, not a bad throw, but it was just a little bit high, sliding it underneath that Ru Young Tuk takes second base. I don't think on that throw he might have just hurt himself a little bit there, Took. He's going for a bit of a walk behind second base. See that there on your screens as he just stretches out. Looks like the left leg, the left hamstring maybe. Giving that a good stretch. The Korean management are not too concerned. The medic and manager are standing by. He waves them away. Says, no, I'm okay, thank you very much, and we'll get on with the game. Young Seo Jun to the plate for the Koreans. That first pitch on that outside edge, which we've seen called all day, all tournament, for a called strike. With the leg injury and the throw from Savoy, I don't think the Koreans will be trying to take third base too often. I think they'll take second base and then work from there. But Jun in the box now for Korea. He chops one foul out of play. Count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Yong Xiao Jun.
So this inning moving along a little bit slower than the top half of the inning. Down this bottom end here as Korea come to the plate very patient with their batting, and they're not going to swing at anything that is not in or around their zone. They want it in the wheelhouse, and they will be patient and wait. Thanks everybody around the world for tuning in. It's great to have you on board. Come back into the pitcher.
Got him at third. Got him cold at third. Great play by Lopez. Great heads up play by the San Diego infield. I don't know who gave Lopez that call, but it was a great call. He wheeled around, fired it to his third baseman, Connor Bell, who applied a really nice tag over there at third base. And they get the lead runner in Took, and that's a big out for the San Diego boys to get that lead runner who was going around to third. Now they put a force-in possible double play at second base to get out of the inning.
I'm pretty sure it was Connor Bell made the call to his pitcher because he did look at the runner to start with and then quickly swapped it around and went straight across the other corner of the diamond.
Well, the comebacker was on that first base side of the mound, Harrow, and he was just going to go that way and make the easy out, but he got a call from somebody, wheeled around and knew there was a possible chance to go to 3, and that's where he went. He went to Connor Bell, the third baseman. Plenty of time. Not sure if Took was just struggling a little bit with that leg injury, but he was not as quick as he should have been, and he got tagged out there at first base. So Jung aboard courtesy of the fielder's choice, and now the Koreans have a runner at first with 1 out.
Very important to get that lead runner as well. That was a threat for San Diego.
Pitch is in the dirt, well handled by Savoy behind the plate.
We've had a previous look at some of these guys in the previous 2 days, and these are 2 sides that are going to create this exciting game throughout the full 7 innings.
Yeah, on day 1 we saw San Diego put the Skyroos to the run differential, and on Diamond 1 on day 2 we saw the Koreans take on Alameda and beat them quite convincingly too. Alameda coming up in the second of the semi-finals, taking on Japan, which will come up straight after this semi-final. That's going to be a crackerjack of a game as well. The Japanese have swept all before them in this tournament so far, and it'll be very interesting to see how they go against the boys from Alameda. I was talking to a group of them this morning when I got to the ground, and they're quietly confident that they can stop the might of this Japanese team.
Okay, they might be tuned in for that. I suppose the first stage that all of these clubs have been trying to get to is the semi-finals. So if you get into that 4, anything can happen from there.
That's exactly right. We've got games going out on the back diamonds as well. Positional games going on, and we'll bring you results as they filter to hand. But here in front of us, Hang Tae Yang in the batter's box, the designated hitter for Korea. Count is 2 balls, no strikes, runner at first. Lopez very worried about that runner at first. He's thrown around on a couple of occasions to keep him close to the bag. And Jun down there at first base. He's an outfielder, so you know he's got to have some sort of wheels. They don't go. Called strike at the plate for Lopez. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 away, runner at first. No score on the board. We're in the bottom of the first inning in semi-final number 1 here of the 2018 World Boys Tournament in Sydney, Australia. Lopez reaches back, runner goes, it's a hit and run, it's flared into right field, could be trouble, getting around there, Gracia with a good catch, doesn't have the strongest of arms, and getting back to first base, Jun will get back comfortably, but a good catch out there by Luis Gracia, and he's done very well out there, just to run that one down, a little bit of range required, he got there fairly comfortably in the end, for a big second out for the San Diego boys.
Yeah, Cam, Gracia picked that up early. He did get his wheels across there, planted himself directly under the ball, and with all outfielders, of course, the first thing you have to do is 100%. Get to the spot where the ball's going to be, and then you can slow down and settle, make your adjustments from there. And Gracia was all over that one.
So Cho Won Tae, the new batter for Korea, still has that runner at first base. And again, Lopez goes to first base. Lancia taking it comfortably there at first base.
Importantly for San Diego defence, it is 2 out.
If they can shut the Koreans down here in this bottom of the first innings, no runs on the board. Again, that will be a massive conflict. Big curveball. Runner goes. Trouble at second base, but the throw's just behind the bag.
He makes it.
Yeah, shortstop Hector Milan couldn't get to the bag. He was about a yard behind the bag. If he was right on the bag when that throw comes, he probably makes that tag. It was a really good throw from Savoy. Again, just fractionally high, but Milan was just fractionally out of position behind the bag. The shortstop needs to go sort of right onto the bag or a half a step in front of the bag. Unfortunately, Milan was caught half a yard behind the bag, and that probably cost him the out at second base.
Sure does. Milan came up looking at the umpire. The umpire declared that play safe, and Milan just
he knew it. He knew. Yeah, no, he knew himself that he had got himself just slightly out of position, and that cost him the out.
Yeah.
He knew the throw was there in time.
Good reaction from the young man.
He just couldn't
get
the glove forward enough to make the tag on the sliding Jung. So Jun stands at second base. Cho Won Tae, the right fielder, in the batter's box. Count of 1 ball, 1 strike on him. There are 2 out. The runner at second. Nice curveball in for a called strike. Lopez has got that curve working nicely. The early stage is not easy when you have a little bit of a rain delay, and you do get a little bit of moisture on the ball. But he's got the rosin bag out there now, and he's working nicely. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So Cho's another lefty. They're throwing up a bunch of lefties back to back.
I think a lot of these Koreans switch hit, Harrow. This one's just low and inside. We saw a couple of them switch hit in the Alameda game, but pretty much 3 lefties in a row to start off here for the Koreans. So I don't know whether they all pretty much switch hit and they'll all go from the left side against the right-handed pitcher, or whether or not they just threw up a bunch of lefties at the top of their lineup. But Cho Won Tae, another curveball, and this one's hit hard out to left field, but it is up in the air, rounding underneath it, Jacob Christian, and Christian will take the catch out there in left field, and that will be all she wrote for the Koreans. The San Diego boys do a good job in defence here in the bottom of the first inning, and we are completed through 1 inning here at Blacktown International Sports Park. There is no score on the board between the Koreans and San Diego. Back shortly. And back here at Blacktown International Sports Park for the top of the second inning. And Stephen Lancia, you see on screen, just taking a nice hack at that pitch and hitting it a long way, but a long way foul down that third base side and out of play. Big solid boy for a 15-year-old, Stephen Lancia. Ready to face Kim Sung Jae. Jay to the plate. This one hit hard to centre field into the alley. Going back will be Jin. Jin, the centre fielder, has a good read on it and makes a good catch out there in centre field. Not easy in these sort of greying skies and overcast conditions, but made that look very easy, did Cho Si-yoon.
Very hard hit ball as well, but the Korean outfield positioned perfectly by their coaching staff. They're back deep enough on this big hitting San Diego lineup.
That will bring Hector Milan, the shortstop, to the plate. And obviously a switch call there, a bit of a switch call, because the centre fielder went bolting about 15 yards to his left to the first base side, to the right field side of the field. So obviously playing the land much straighter away than, opposite field hitting than.
Somebody's been scouting.
Obviously, they've obviously been watching, and that's something that these professional clubs do. The Koreas, the Japans, they watch every game. They watch every pitch of every game. They would know everything that they need to know about every opponent that they need to face.
A little bit of homework.
Never goes astray, a little bit of homework. So Milan in the hole, 0-2. Next pitch is a high fastball, and he fouls it off down the first base side towards the bullpen.
There's the switch. Opposite field hitter. Centre field to right side.
Infield playing slightly towards the first base side. Shortstop a little bit closer to second base than what he would normally be. Having said that, he circles around a little bit, but still playing a little bit shallower.
That's only because we called it in the commentary box. We can always get the opposite thing to happen.
Again, he fouls it off down the first base side. Yeah, I've got. I can stop a steam train the way things are going at the moment. If I say something's going to happen, it's no chance of happening.
A little bit of rain coming in, starting to fall. Umpire just getting some fresh baseballs out of the first base dugout.
Going to keep a good supply of dry, fresh baseballs going out to the.
Except that one.
To the pitcher. That's now a dry. That's now a dirty, wet baseball, but it'll go.
The crowd gave him all their support when he dropped that one. They all went, oh.
He had two in his hand. It's it's a talent to try and catch a third one when you've already got two in your hand, and that's maybe why he's an umpire these days, Harrow. He may have been a baseballer once, couldn't get the third ball in the hand, so he took up umpiring.
He's a good young umpire too.
Low and outside. They've done a fantastic job in this tournament. We've got to give them a rap. There's hardly been, I can't think of a time there's been where they've either been out of position or made a call that could be decided, as dodgy.
I made the comments on Saturday. A two-man team, and their positioning was absolutely perfect.
They've been in position all day. Milan again swings at this one and goes down. He sort of just wafted the bat out at it. It was a curveball, and he didn't want to swing at it. He was protecting the plate against the fastball. And then when he realised it was the curve, he was just too committed to trying to protect the plate. And unfortunately, Milan will go down on strikes. He will be the first strikeout of the morning for Kim Sung Jae. And that will bring to the plate the left fielder, Jacob Christian, for San Diego.
It looks like the rain is starting to come down just a little bit more here.
Yeah, it's actually visible now, which is a little bit of a concern. So we'll just make sure all our cameras are somewhat protected as best we can. We've got some makeshift rain jackets on them. Oh, our first base one's gone. It was a little bit of a makeshift there, but the camera seems to be okay at the moment. But Dave's going to go down and look after that for us as Christian falls behind 0-2 very quickly.
He's going to put the rain cover back on it. It's just blown away a little, I think. But we've still got a shot from first base.
0-2 pitch hit hard down the third base side. Laying out, Chan gets up with it. It's going to be a tough play from there, and the throw's not in time.
Goes to the fence, just misses the first baseman, but just to cut that off. The layout by Chan, sensational.
Lee Yu Chan diving to the third base side of things, laying out, getting it in the glove. And the moment you lay out at third base, it makes it near impossible to make a throw back across the diamond to get any sort of runner, other than one of us, Harrow, one of us slow blokes going up there that takes about 7 or 8 seconds to get up there.
I would never have got up.
Chan, absolute great play, good throw, and just not in time. Christian runs well and he boots it out for an infield hit.
If he doesn't cut that off, it's a double.
Oh,
Stand up
at
double.
least a double. We know in this ballpark, having done years, that this one
Right
is
side.
flared out into right field. It goes a bit longer than flare. Actually, I'll tell you what, it's a good drive. It's going to get to the wall out there. Christian rounds 3. He will score. Rounding 2, heading to 3 will be Lopez. So Lopez doing it for the San Diego boys. A stand-up triple that drives in a run. Gee, I didn't think that one was going to carry as far as it did. It just kept going.
Wow. It went right to the base of centre right field fence, across the warning track. One bounce back off the wall, and deep, deep, deep. Centre field out there, right field out there. Jin and Tay, all they could do was get that back in as fast as possible. But they've opened their account, San Diego. They do have a score on the board and a runner at third base with 2 out. What a 2-out rally.
There's not much wind here at Blacktown with these weather conditions, but what wind there is does look like it is blowing out today. So that obviously just helped that ball just travel, because I thought Tay was going to be all over that. He looked like he had a nice read on it, was making a nice track to it, and then the ball just carried. All of a sudden you see him take a right-hand turn and go after it to the fence.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting for me to see how these Koreans react to that. They're not used to that.
All of a sudden they're behind, aren't they? They haven't been behind all tournament, I don't believe.
They have to get their bats working, which that's been their strength in this tournament, is they can get those bats going, and they're relentless.
And we just saw a coach's visit to the mound. So all of a sudden one run scores, and the Korean management go out and have a chat. This one hit back up the middle, tack the shortstop. He fires it across, no worries whatsoever there. They will get the 3rd out. Lopez will be stranded at third base. Savoy grounding out to the shortstop to end the inning, but not before San Diego put a little bit of pressure on the Korean boys, something they haven't had in this tournament so far. Through 1.5 innings, it is 1-0 Korea over San Diego.
And from
San Diego over Korea.
From the number 7 hitter as well. The number 7 in the lineup was the one that got that triple.
And their pitcher.
Yeah, their pitcher.
He's trying to do the work in defense and offense.
And welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park, everybody around the world that is tuned in. It is just gone 9:40 a.m. here in the west of Sydney at Blacktown International Sports Park. You're watching this World Boys Tournament 2018 from Sydney, Australia. A little bit of overcast. There is light rain falling, but not enough to stop play in this game. The start of the game, for those that have just tuned in, was delayed by 15 minutes. We go to the bottom of the second inning now, and the lead-off for Korea, Cho Se-jin.
And Lopez just struggling with the handle on the ball there, threw that one about 55 feet. Just made it into the cutout section.
Absolutely,
Before
and
it bounced.
at the moment, although it's the bottom of the second inning, San Diego are leading Korea by 1-0. So we have 5 camera angles for you today. We'll pick up just about every play, we believe, and some may be up close, some may be at distance, but you'll get very good coverage throughout the day in this semi-final number 1, which will... There's a hit ball down the third base side.
Connor Bell charging, making the throw. Great play, Connor Bell. Had to charge in and half hop it, and he did it wonderfully. Nice soft hands as that ball sort of landed a second time in front of him. It was always going to be a difficult play for Connor Bell, but made it look easy, and the throw on the run didn't even really balance up, just threw it mid-stride, straight across the diamond with a good strong arm to Lancia for the out.
He threw it up nice and high. Sorry, Mackenzie.
It's nice to see the smile on the faces of the boys when they make a play like that.
That's the best part of this tournament. It is a friendship tournament. And, yeah, they're all having a really good time here. You just got to walk past them and they want to shake hands with you and say hi.
Lopez again throws that one into the dirt before home plate. Lee Jun Sang, the catcher for Korea, is the new batter. And as Mackenzie was saying earlier, the Koreans really need to work on their offense now. They haven't found themselves behind very often, if at all, in this tournament, as that one slapped foul down the first base side. Have to find a way to work some runs in here now. They've lost the first out here in the top of the second inning. Sorry, the bottom of the second inning.
Very good facilities here at Blacktown International Sports Park, and you can see from our coverage the grass is a little bit off colour, but that's because it is winter here in Australia, and there have been frosts out here in the west. In fact, yesterday morning before play started, there was frost on the ground, and that's what turns our nice lush green grass in summer, turns it all yellow and in winter.
Yeah, you've got to be careful. If you put too much water on it in winter time, you can burn it and kill it.
Yep.
With the frosts, and freeze it to death. That one misses high and outside, so hence the fact that in winter time it looks a little yellow, and we can assure you that come springtime when the temperatures warm up, we'll get that beautiful that green look to it again. But still a little bit of work needed to be done here for opening night of ABL, which is in November, but that's to come. Lopez misses a couple outside in a row to Sang, and he will let him pass on balls.
He's for sure looking for that outside pitch to be called, because it's been called all week.
There was one that was super close. I think it was the second pitch to Sang that probably could have been called. The other two were both well outside. But when he didn't get that first one, yeah, you could see the disappointment you could hear from the San Diego crowd. They thought it should have been called, though, sitting down in the grandstand.
Second walk issued by Emmanuel Lopez, and San Diego this morning. Lead-off batter was walked, and that's the next one.
Moon Young Bin to the plate. Bin is playing second base for the Koreans, and a balk called on Lopez. I think he broke his hands before he moved his feet, and that is going to allow the runner to advance 90 feet up to second base, and I think Lopez knows he did it too. He's a little bit frustrated with himself.
Korean batting style, you can see they hold their bats nice and high. Hands up, gives them plenty of backswing.
That one well inside.
On Bin just spinning his shoulders around there. So just settling himself again now, Lopez, and the runner at second base, Sang, is just clearing his cleats, getting the dirt off them. It's getting a little bit sticky out there.
A little bit of rain will do that. We'll make it a little bit heavy around the diamond. And Bin asks for time at the plate, granted by the home plate umpire.
Now Savoy goes out for a little chat. A little bit of reorganisation going here. Something to do with signals, I would suggest, coming from the San Diego dugout. Catcher and pitcher just communicating well now, and possibly talking about the runner at second. There's probably a bit of a feeling he will attempt to steal third. There's one out here. The lead-off, Cho Se Yin, was the first out. The lead-off on a 5-3 play. Third baseman Connor Bell making a terrific play, full stretch across to first baseman Stephen Lancia. We're already in. We get that pitch now. Batter actually just gave a bit of a wave to his runner at second base. After the pitch. And I think Bin was basically waving to the runner saying, don't run. Just stay back. Go back to second. Let's reset. Do it all again. Lopez comes to the plate now. Outside. Misses the ball. Savoy can't block it. It was a bouncer. Just got under the glove there, and the runner advances to third base anyway. That's Lee Yun Sang. Goes to third base. Stands up there now on that loose pitch. So Cameron being a pitcher, if he was scoring that, he would have put wild pitch.
Oh, it's always a wild pitch.
Cam used to be a catcher.
I'm a catcher, so it's always the pitcher's fault. Always the pitcher's fault. Never the catcher's fault.
Okay, runner at third, one out. Bin at the plate. Can he knock in the first run, drive in the first run for Korea? Goes wide outside and issues a walk. So back-to-back walks now from San Diego and Emmanuel Lopez. Runners on the corners for Korea. We get to 8th in the lineup, his first plate appearance for the morning. Number 8 in the lineup is Lee Yu Chan, the third baseman for Korea. Chan steps in. Readies himself, and Lopez gets the signal from Savoy behind the plate. Long look in. Danger time for San Diego. Comes to the outside edge. Savoy again can't glove that one. And they do tie the score up here. Korea crossing the plate on a wild pitch. Lee Yun Sang scores the run for Korea. It's now a 1-1, San Diego and Korea on a second wild pitch there, and that also advances Bin around to second base and into scoring position. So Lee Yu Chan still at the plate here with a run scored off a wild pitch. Bit of work to do for Savoy there, getting down and blocking. He's tried to get those last two with his glove down on the ground, but just didn't make it. So he needs to get across and block. Get those feet moving.
Got to get down onto your knees. If you can get across on those wild pitches, you've got to get your body on the ground, make a nice big arc out of your body, almost like, say, a C shape, to get over the front so that you knock the ball down into the ground in front of you.
Towards home plate.
Use your arms on the side of your body to make your body bigger. Don't worry about trying to glove it too much. Just knock it down in front of you and keep the ball in front as much as possible.
Oh, foul tip on that one, up high in the zone. In fact, not even in the zone. That was shoulder height on Chan. But he wanted it.
Very difficult at the level where the pitchers are throwing quite quick to catch up to those high fastballs. Very good swing, need to be around early. Chan not far away. Fouling it straight back means you were on line. You were just not quite to the right level of the pitch.
Down a little low and away on that last pitch from Lopez. Chan steps back in again. And ready to go. Just loading up now. Runner in scoring position again at second base. He takes a swing at that one high in the zone as well. He pops it up. Centre field is under it. Enzonza makes a catch. He's never going to miss those ones, Anthony Enzonza. And no doubt about that whatsoever. He gets Lee Yu Chan out on that high fly ball to straightaway centre field. Fly ball to position 8. Brings up the second out, leaves the runner still standing at second base. But one run across the plate in the bottom of this inning for Korea. The score is 1-1 with 2 out now. And we get to the 9th batter in the lineup, Hwan. Jo Sung Hwan, 9th batter for Korea. Has a look back at that runner carefully, just glaring at him. Steps off. Looks him back.
Umpire having a very close look at that move from Lopez too.
Yeah, he sure did have a think about it, didn't he?
He's been called once for a balk.
Let's see what he can do here. He wants the runner to stay. Gets a strike. Nicely located bottom half of the zone. Well done there on that fastball pitch from Lopez. One ready. A little bit tense here in the bottom of the second inning here. Ground ball straight to shortstop though. It goes to Milan. Milan gets it across to his first baseman Lancia, and they get the regulation. Ground ball out to shortstop. To Milan. Feels that no trouble. Scoops it up to Stephen Lancia, and that shuts down this inning from Korea. The third out. The ninth batter in the lineup for Korea, and that is a 6-3 play. Shortstop to first baseman. We are finished through 2 innings here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where Korea and San Diego are locked in at 1 run each. And welcome back to the baseball here, the 2018 World Boys Championship from Sydney, Australia at Blacktown International Sports Park. Change of pitcher for Korea. On the mound now, replacing Kim Sung-jae, is Kim Hyun-ji. Hyun-ji warmed up well during that inning break and the changeover. Top of the third inning, San Diego come to the plate with their ninth batter for his first appearance of the morning, Anthony Nzunza, the centre fielder for San Diego.
So the first pitch thrown from Hong-ji. Misses high and outside for a ball. Nzunza we saw get his hand on the ball there in that last inning.
Yep, lefty.
Taking a nice fly catch out there in centre field. Now fouls one off at the plate to go to 1 ball, 1 strike. Expected to see a few changes from the Koreans, and they've got their whole squad down in the bullpen warming up. All their pitchers are warming up. This one misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. There is, what is there, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them down in the bullpen down there. Down the left field side of things.
Yeah, very much activity in the Korean bullpen. They're no doubt going to use a number of pitchers this morning to get through this game, keeping them fresh for the following games, hoping to get through to the championship series and gold medal game tomorrow.
There's a lot more movement on this ball. That's going to be an adjustment for San Diego for sure.
Yeah, very hard sidearm throwing action from Kim Hungai. And with that hard sidearm throwing action, has a lot of tail and a lot of work on his fastballs. Is also going to have a pretty wicked slider, I would imagine, with that arm action. You see again here, he fires in that fastball, tail on it, but it's drilled. Oh, what a catch! The first baseman, Juan, laid out, got it right in the pocket of the glove, and a fantastic catch taken by Jo Seung Hwan there at first base, Harrow.
And you know what he does now? He just stands up casually and brushes the dirt off his knees as if it's an everyday thing. You know, yeah, I can do that. I saw it coming. Wow, what a dive. That was a leap of faith from Juan. And what a sensational catch. Line drive, as hard a hit ball as you'd want to do as a batter. Drove that. Oh, wow. What a dive at first base. What a great out. Anthony Nzonza thought that would have got through it, deserved it almost. But great baseball from both players. Great hitting and excellent fielding.
Certainly seeing the cream rising to the top in this game. This is a great game. This one hit hard again down the right field line, but out foul. And Luis Gracia will head back to the box and do it all again. 1 ball and 2 strikes, I believe. No, 1 and 1. In fact, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Top of the order here.
Gracia.
He was put out by the first baseman in the lead-off role at the start of this game. He drove a hard hit ball down the first base line, but again it was Juan there, deep off the bag, just fielded that, called everybody else off and took the out himself for the put out 3 at first base. Jogged across the bag. What great play. What reaction.
This is settling in to be a very, very good game of baseball. That one misses low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. In fact, make that 3 balls and 1 strike. So 3 and 1 on Gracia, looking to get himself up there at first base. Nice hitter's count. Sit on a fastball. Doesn't get it. It's a high outside changeup, and he will walk. So only the first walk issued up by the Koreans in this game.
Yeah, and Hunji's second batter. So walk there. May not do any damage. It will set up an opportunity for a double play as Shea Larrabee steps in for San Diego. Another lefty as well.
But with Gracia being the right fielder, I would expect him to have a fairly decent set of wheels, but will he put them in motion against the Koreans? Let's see what the San Diego boys do. No, goes after the first pitch, pops it up into left field. Jun out there has no problems making that catch, and they will lose their second out here in the top of the third.
Yeah, fly ball, position 7, and Jun was around there already positioned. He didn't have to run too far to get to it. So again, the Korean scouting of these other clubs and where their hitters are hitting to, the parts of the field they go to, outstanding.
The left-handed hitter Shea Larrabee was, so he went around there a little bit, and he was in the perfect position. Drops a little bit deeper and a little bit closer to the line though for Connor Bell. Takes a big hack at that first pitch.
He wanted to go deep.
He was looking to drill that down the right field line. As I said, Jun, after taking that catch, he stayed a little bit in the middle, and then now a little bit of a shift comes on from the infield. The shift hacks around towards the third base side of things. Shortstop and third base both come a bit closer to the line after seeing that first swing from Connor Bell.
I wouldn't mind knowing if there's any speed guns around here. The
Scouts did have them down the front on the front table on day 1, Harrow, but I don't know with this little bit of rain falling whether or not they've retreated underneath the grandstand.
Hunji is certainly feeding them in, and he's got plenty of pace on them with that action of his.
But there were some Major League Scouts around on day 1, definitely. I didn't see them on day 2, but I presume they would have been here for day 1 and day 2.
Our research department is just running downstairs right now to see what he can find out about the speed of some of these pitches here this morning. Big Dave does an excellent job for baseball and has done for so many years in Australia.
Light rain,
David Bottom.
Still just falling here at Blacktown. Not enough to worry anybody at the moment, just enough to make it uncomfortable.
So Connor Bell ready to step back in, but there are 2 out here on San Diego already.
But he has a count that he's going to enjoy. He's got 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 out. I wouldn't be surprised to see another swing like the first one at this next pitch as they go to first base. As Hungai goes to first base to make sure that Luis Gracia is not getting too far ahead of himself. Three-one pitch. It is hit, but it's chopped. It's a slow roller towards third. It's going to be a tough play for Chan. No, it's not. It's going to be an easy play for Chan, and Wannabell just needs to be a little bit careful up there. I think he made contact with Juan at first base. Nothing intentional, nothing out of the ordinary. They just made a little bit of contact. But a 5-3 play from the Koreans to end the innings. San Diego strand one on the base pads halfway through the third inning. It is San Diego and Korea locked at 1 apiece.
And welcome back to the coverage of the 2018 World Boys Tournament here in Sydney, Australia, brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia and the Summer of Baseball Broadcasting team. We go to the bottom of the third inning now, and the leadoff is at the top of the order, Roo Yun Tak for Korea, and no changes that we can detect at the moment from the San Diego side. The defensive lineup remains the same. Emmanuel Lopez remains on the mound, and the lead-off lefty, Roo Yun Tak, I should say, the number 7, steps in. Left-hander, he drew a walk in his first appearance this morning. Around about 45 minutes ago. He comes back to the plate now for his second appearance and takes that next pitch.
Still raining out here at Blacktown. The rain's still falling. Still not hard enough to worry anybody just at the moment, although the combined effect is getting a little bit muddy out there, just ever so slightly.
It's making it a little bit gluey. But Tak there now facing a 3-0 pitch. And misses again, so he will take a walk. No, he's claiming that it hit him. No, count on the scoreboard's not right. We've got 4 balls on the scoreboard.
There was a called strike somewhere in there. I think the very first pitch, he showed running bunt.
Okay,
and I think the umpires called him on the running bunt because he didn't withdraw the bat.
Fair enough. 3-1 the count now. 3-1 pitch coming from Lopez.
I was a little bit confused by that very first pitch, which was the running bunt pitch, but 3-1 is not going to matter.
Misses that time. That will be a walk issued to Tak for the second time this morning. 2 plate appearances, 2 walks. So he goes to first base again.
Going to bring a visit to the mound from the San Diego coach. I think that might be Dave Lewis heading out there to the mound.
I think he's going to check on the grip that he's got, and he's talking to him about his hand actions. So, I don't know what he's saying, but his hand actions are showing something to do with his arm and his throwing. Maybe go back and hold or something. So a little bit of coaching going on at the moment. Get it in flat, but go to the zone. I think he might be going a little bit out on his arm, which is taking the ball out of the zone rather than flat into the zone.
Yep, Very passionate man. And
everybody can see the hand actions there.
walking around having a chat to them all.
He's checking the grip. That's his main concern, is it could get slippery. He did talk to the umpires before this inning started.
There is a cleat cleaner out there, but at the moment it looks like it's clogged up with dirt. He's running that off to get that cleaned for his players.
It's about grip, and he's thinking that he's not getting grip with his feet, Lopez, so he's slipping a fraction, and that might be getting him out of the zone. So San Diego coaching staff just checking everything, and even Jacob Savoy behind the plate, the catcher, is just checking the clogging of his cleats under his feet there as well. However, we go back now. Lopez gets ready to pitch to the next batter in the lineup. It is Yang Xiao Yun. So we'll see how Yun goes for his second appearance. He was safely on first base with a fielder's choice.
We did see Took steal second base and attempt to get into third base on a hit ball where he was caught in the 1-5 on a comeback. We'll see if he steals on this occasion. Looks like he's ready to go.
And he does.
Oh, Savoy absolutely drags that one down. Good thing there's a bit of backing up going on. Milan trying to get across to the bag. Larrabee trying to get across there. Milan in cover. Picks it up in shallow centre field. Just drag that one down again, not being able to get enough grip, and just that one just stuck in the hand and just was dragged down the third base side.
Now there's a brush out there for Savoy to clean off his shoes, because he clearly couldn't get a grip on his shoes there to make a clean throw. So umpires are now going to have a discussion about the conditions and see if they think something could be done to the mound and even the catcher's box to see if these players can get their footing. Both San Diego players claiming they're losing their footing out there.
You can just see the mud just caked on the bottom of his shoe as he's
we got a really good
shaking his shoe off.
Good shot there, and you saw the amount of mud coming off Lopez's boots, and the umpire's going to call a delay by the looks of it.
Yeah.
That looked like that was a rain delay signal to me that he was going to stop the game.
They're going to have a chat to the coach anyhow.
He sort of waved his arms across in a sort of a safe signal. Sort of a half safe signal, but it looks like they're going to have a small rain delay.
So our Korean team taking the mat off again for the cleats to clean them off. He's actually, the Korean manager is bringing them over to the San Diego lineup so they can clean their shoes. Oh no, he's San Diego guy. Sorry about that.
They got their blue hoodies with their American, their USA logo on them.
Yeah.
The umpire just explaining to the Korean management exactly what is going on.
So what you would think logically now is that there would be ground staff here from Blacktown venue management to go out and maybe put some drying sand on there, some kitty litter or something to dry out the mud and pack it all down so that these players are not put at any risk. But I'm sure the tournament management staff will be talking about that as I see Andrew Ross heading downstairs as I speak to see what they can do about ground conditions. Little bit of rain falling again, very, very lightly. No tarps going out though to keep the water off home plate or the pitcher's mound. They probably need a bit of cover and a bit of dryers on them. And that we know there are bags and bags of drying sand in the sheds. Are always kept there on standby. A pallet full, in fact, is normally on standby for conditions just like this.
So basically where we stand, it is 1 run apiece. The Koreans and San Diego, we are in the bottom of the third inning. There is a runner on first base, and that is where the delay has been called. So we will take a little bit of a break. We've popped it up there on the screen. It'll stay up there for the time being until we get a little bit of word about what is exactly going on. But we'll take a little bit of a break, take the opportunity to have a drink and a comfort break. And we'll be back should the players will have to go on and do a little bit of a warm-up. They'll be allowed that 5-minute warm-up before they take the field again. So as soon as that warm-up comes around, we will get back on air and we will get you all the action of this game the moment it gets going again. So we will see you soon here from Blacktown for the 2018 World Boys Tournament.
and welcome back to baseball at Blacktown International Sports Park here in Sydney, Australia. All of you viewers that were very patient and hung in there during the recent rain delay, we are about to get play restarted here on diamond number 1 of the 2018 World Boys Championship, being broadcast to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia and the Summer of Baseball broadcast team. I'm Paul Harradine, aka Harrow. As we did at the start of the game, Big Cam. P-Mac's not here, but Big Cam is here for the play-by-play calls of all of the action. And we're all both ably assisted, thank goodness, by Mackenzie, all the way from Kentucky, and doing some work out there for us in broadcasting and the media. And a great input to our game is Mackenzie. Welcome aboard, Mackenzie. Good to have you back again on the microphone as well. And of course, P-Mac is away today on work duties, his normal job of work. So Mackenzie Payton will be doing all of the button pushing as well as a little colour commentary for us during the remainder of this game here. We are in the bottom of the third inning with a runner at second base, and the second batter in the lineup is at the plate right now, Yang Xiao Yun, and he gets bat to ball.
One pitch, one swing. Lifts it into right field where Gracia is there. They are going to cut that ball off as Took is going to tag at second take, and then he's going to rip across to third base. So he will stand at third with that first out, fly to right field on Yun. And that will bring Hung Tae Yang to the plate.
So fly ball to position 9, the first out there, runner at third base. And again, San Diego under threat with their defence. And Jung, the designated hitter, steps in now to see if he can drive that runner in. The scoreline is 1-1. Korea 1, San Diego 1 run each. So tied up ball game through 7 innings. We're just in the bottom of the third, so quite a way to go yet. And an extended rain delay that has taken around about 45 minutes out of this game so far. Way outside that pitch, missing out and low.
Yeah, Lopez stayed on the mound even after the rain delay, so he's come back onto the mound. Often you'll see in some of the professional sports when we have an extended rain delay like that, the pitches are done. But not for this tournament. Emmanuel Lopez back on the mound for San Diego.
Nice pitch in there from Lopez, just drops a curve and probably more a bit of a change-up. I think he just backed off the pace and dropped it in over the outside edge of home plate. You saw it there, and for you all to know, it is 1 ball, 2 strikes by the look of that from the umpire. Lopez, next pitch comes in, fastball. Goes outside edge but misses down low. A little bit of a half hopper into the glove of catcher Jacob Savoy. Better blocking there from Savoy. There were a couple of wild pitches earlier on in the bottom of the second inning, and that gave Korea a little bit of leeway to move round bases and score runs.
Yeah, chopper up the middle will be a base hit, will score a run. Yang finds a way to squeeze one up the middle, and Ru Young Take crosses the plate for the second run for the Koreans.
Yeah, puts Korea ahead now 2-1 in this bottom of the third inning. So an arm wrestle, no doubt whatsoever. And Jung standing at first base. So another runner on, still 1 out. And stepping into the plate now, left-hander is Cho Wan Tae. So Tay settles in, left-handed side, pick-off attempt. Ball gets loose, goes back to the fence, runner takes off, turns 2, heads for 3. There will be a play at 3, maybe. Yes, there will be. Should get him cold. No, he got in under the tag. He came in wide from the back of the third base bag, not straight into the leading edge. Good sliding, good base running there from the young guy. And that was Jung sliding in around that tag and just got underneath it from Connor Bell. That ball thrown back in, first baseman Stephen Lancier it was, chased that ball down the fence line, but could not get the tag on at third base. So Han Tae-Jung stands in scoring position at third base now, all the way around from first after a pick-off attempt went wild. That one fouled off by Cho Wan Tae right down the right field line. He pulled that one hard, turned on it early. Quick hands, quick feet for the lefty to hook it right down there. Goes outside, trying to tempt him to swing at that. Maybe get him swinging on the outside pitch, but not to be. It was also high. In fact, Savoy having to get up out of that catcher's box to get that one. 1 ball, 1 strike the count now. 1-1 pitch coming from Lopez. That one down low again, missing the zone. Runner just comes down the line, makes the catcher have a look at him. Savoy looks up there, makes sure everything is okay, and the door is closed. So Tae stepping in again and readying himself. Gets bat to ball, that one lifts it out there to right field side. Who's calling that? Centre field makes the call, takes the catch. Good play, no play at home. Runner leaves third, tags and goes, and stands up over home plate easily for a second run in the bottom of the third inning for Korea. That is Han Tae-young scoring that second run. Korea go ahead 3-1 in this bottom of the third inning. And now with 2 out, Cho Wan Tae, the fly ball to centre field, gives them that second out.
You've got to wonder how that rain delay affected San Diego, if that's what happened, or if they're ready for this, or is Korea just finally getting their bats going?
Pop up now, round behind, catcher lining up for it, Savoy.
Oh,
First baseman takes it. It's Stephen Lancia. There was conflict there. They ran into each other. But Lancia takes that catch in foul territory. They both had eyes for the ball. And I thought myself, Jacob Savoy had it covered, but Lancia came in. He had a better angle on the ball. Came in, made the run. They tripped over each other's feet, but they get the all-important third out on Cho Se-yin with the foul fly ball caught by the first baseman. So foul fly ball position 3 brings up that third out, shuts down this attack from Korea. But they do score 2 big runs in the bottom of the third innings to go ahead in this game. After 3 completed, it is Korea 3, San Diego 1 run. Yang Xiao Jun. Some changes coming through there. Second base has gone to left field, we believe, and left field gone to second base. Straight swap. Hard left side ball goes foul down the third base line.
It's not a straight swap. I'm just so Pio Zhu No has gone into left field.
Thank you, Cap.
Number 20, we believe. Yep, number 20.
Yep. Pio Zhu No.
Yep. And going to second base was the left fielder
Yang Xiao Yun.
Yun. Yep, that's correct. That's the changes we have.
Thank you, Cam.
I did that without my binoculars.
I think Mackenzie did that.
I was going to say
Cam.
bit of help with bit of help with Mackenzie, but we had to work out who was in left field. That was the problem.
So it looks like Moon Jung Bin may have left the game, out of the game at the moment, and Stephen Lancia out on strikes. Going back to the dugout. So first out is the lead-off. Stephen Lancia goes back there now. First baseman for San Diego, and he goes down on strikes.
I'll tell you what, those were 3 nasty pitches right there. That looked about like the Japanese pitching.
Okay, yeah, he comes out wide, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That round arm style that he's got. Pops one up now on the infield. Second base goes back for it. Right field calls him out. And Sho Wan Tae out there in right field makes that catch, number 17. Makes a really good catch out there in right field side. So the second out, 2 up, 2 down, San Diego. Top of the 4th inning, that was Hector Milan popping that one up. Fly ball to position 9 in the right field side. So, 2 up, 2 down. No doubt, Korea in the ascendancy in this game. They've got all the momentum in the top of the 4th inning.
Now, I think of the two teams, I think the Koreans with the rain delay will handle it better, as a hit by pitch will allow
Jacob Christian
to take first base.
Yeah, a little bit of a stinger. So, momentum might change just a little bit momentarily for San Diego. They get a runner at first base. It's up the other guys now. Emmanuel Lopez. He's had 1 appearance this morning so far, and it was a triple to the right field side. Centre right field all the way to the base of the fence. And that's a long hit on this big ground.
Yeah, we've seen some ABL baseballers that can't get it to the fence here at Blackdown, that have struggled to get it to the fence over the years.
Yeah, well, Lopez certainly did. And let's see what Emmanuel does this time. Facing a different pitcher, of course. Form of Kim Hung Ji.
Finds another hole, though.
Gets it to the gap.
As they say, the ball had eyes. Found the 5-6 hole out to left field. So he keeps his streak going.
Single to 7. Gets him at first. Moves Christian around to second base and into scoring position, which is more important.
Well, he scored from first base on that triple from Lopez last time around, so we know he's got some wheels. So we know a base hit here will probably be enough to score him. But the Koreans are going to have a chat, because that's all she wrote for Kim Hung-gai. He is finished. The manager takes the ball from the catcher. And Hung-gai sort of hangs around a little bit. Says, is there anything more I can do, Skipper? He says, nope, you're done.
Go and have a breather. Put a jacket on that arm. Keep it warm.
Looks like it might be 27 coming to the mound.
Maybe some other changes. We'll have a quick look.
There's definitely a 7 going out there. It is 27 as he turns his back to the scorer so that we get a good look. 27 is Lee Ju Hyung.
So change of pitcher by Korea. And this is the top of the 4th inning with 2 out. Top of the 4th inning with 2 out already. And Kim Hung-ji leaves the mound, replaced by Lee Yu-yong. And big tall guy. He's had time to warm up in the bullpen since this rain delay. A very good move there from the Korean pitching staff. And they bring out a fresh guy after having had time and an extended rain delay. So Kim Hung-ji has obviously come in the top of the 3rd inning, done the job required of him, and got 5 important outs. And he replaced Kim Soo-jae, who was the starting pitcher for Korea. He got 6 outs. Hung-gi has got 5 outs, and now the ball is given over to Lee Yu Hyung. Hyung warming up well there. We can't see any other changes on the infield for the defensive lineup for the Korean team.
Didn't appear to be any other changes, Harry, just a straight pitching swap.
And the batter on deck at the moment, waiting to step in, is Jacob Savoy for San Diego.
Big job to do here, Jacob Savoy. Runners at first and second with 2 out, trailing by 2.
And of course, they're trailing by 2, as you said, Cam. Those 2 runners, the tying run now in this game at first base. If Savoy can get anything through the infield, it gives them an opportunity to score at least 1 run and narrow the gap.
Well, Christian will score from second. We saw his wheels when Lopez hit the triple from first. He scored from first base, so he'll score on a base hit, but can Savoy find that base hit? That's the question. Another big sidearm pitcher from Korea, Lee Ju Hyung. Winds up and really reaches over his arm as he throws. That one well inside on Savoy, so Savoy to 1 ball and 1 strike. Young checks the runners. Has a good long look before he comes to the plate. Savoy slaps it straight back up the middle, but playing shallow, looking at double play depth was Roo Young Take, and he will just dish it off to his second baseman, Jun, and that will be enough to end the inning. Lopez will be the 3rd out on the force, and Savoy will get the fielder's choice, but it won't do the San Diego boys any good as they finish the top of the 4th inning. With only that 1 run on the board, they trail Korea 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
And welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park, where you're viewing the 2018 World Boys Tournament here from Sydney, Australia, as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, halfway through this 7-inning game now. Bottom of 4, lead-off Lee Yun Sang steps in, and facing the pitching of Emmanuel Lopez, still on the diamond, drives one out of the right field side, gets it into the clear, straight over the top of the second baseman, who was way, way above him. He'd need to be 20 feet tall to get that one. And nice lead off there from Sang for the Korean side, and gets himself on first base. The lead off standing at first, Moon Jung Bin steps in now.
Bin came out of the game.
He did come out of the game, replaced by the
Pyo
number
Young
20.
No.
Thanks, Cam.
So Pyo Young No into the batter's box. Playing left field at the moment for the Koreans. Takes a called strike to start off his at-bat. Runner at first, Lee Jung Sang. The Koreans lead at 3-1. They are 3 runs on 2 hits at the moment with no errors. And although the error count not really going up there, so we won't worry about the error count. I'm sure there was 1 or 2 earlier, and they're going to get him in the pick-off.
Wow.
I thought he was back in underneath it. He thought he was back in underneath it.
Must have got him before his fingertips hit the bag.
Absolutely. So a 1-3 pick-off for Lopez and Lancia will get rid of Sang on the bases. And that could be a big out for San Diego, being able to limit the amount of damage that the Koreans do in this bottom of the 4th with their the bats in their hands.
Okay, we're back to home plate now. Runner at the plate. No runners on. And a loose one out of the hands of Lopez. Just didn't pull it down. Came out of the wrist a little bit early. Just goes high. Well caught there by Jacob Savoy behind the plate. A lot of drying material has been put around home plate and on the pitcher's mound, as you will see from the video shots. That lighter coloured sand, just to soak up the moisture out of this ground. A little earlier in the day, just some light showers. Still plenty of cloud around, but it doesn't look like the rain's going to come our way again for a long time.
Well, the wind's picked up a little bit, Harrow, and that usually tends to stop the rain falling. And wind is blowing towards right field, so a rather unusual wind for Blacktown International Sports Park. So from home plate to the right field wall is the way the wind's blowing to sort of assist the hitters a little bit, which is unusual here at Blacktown.
There it was. He's been looking for that pitch since the rain delay started.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to find that outside edge, has he? He's finally zoned in on it. So that hopefully will relax him a little bit. Went back to that exact same pitch, Mackenzie, on that outside corner, and gets the ground ball to second base to Larrabee, who does the rest. Good bit of pitching that from Lopez. Found a location, stuck with it, and gets the ground ball result.
You know, I think that this is one of the longest pitching stretches that we've seen in this tournament. He's been in for, 4 innings now, and we haven't seen that in many of these games.
Time-wise, he's been in there for just a little over 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is not bad in a 2-hour, 15-minute game.
A couple of warm-up opportunities as well. Lee Yu Chan is at the plate now. Third baseman for Korea. His first at-bat was a fly ball to centre field, straight away centre field. Very deep, hard hit ball. So he waits for the wheelhouse pitch.
Lopez again, just trying to work over that outside corner. Just can't get the ball quite up into the strike zone at the moment. He's missing a little bit on the low side. That one hit hard down the first base line, but just into the tram lines. Missing first base by about a foot or so for a foul to take the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. And hitter number 23, Lee Yu Chan. Lopez low and outside again, misses. 3-1 now on Chan. The Koreans will really just be trying to wrap this one up. I don't know if this is going to go a full 7 innings due to the rain delay, but we'll see what happens in terms of times and playing time, or whether it will just go a complete 5-inning game now because of the rain delays and the timing. But a base on balls now to Lee Yu Chan. He takes ball number 4 and trots his way up there to first base. That'll bring the number 9 hitter and the first baseman, Zhu Sung Hwan, to the plate.
Yeah, Cam, I believe this game will go the full 7 innings or as required by the rules, because there's only one game following, and that game start time can be delayed, will be delayed if required, by whatever gap they need to get the ground into shape before that second semi-final game, which will be between Japan and Alameda. So the following game, there will be a minimum of a 30-minute gap between the games, a minimum. However, that could well be rescheduled. But there would be a minimum 30-minute is the standard here.
It'll all come down to what the actual playing rules are around this one.
Yeah.
If you lose more than half an hour, sometimes the rules are a little bit different to if you don't lose half an hour. So it'll be down to the tournament organisers. There's a little flare is hit into shallow right field, going back Shea Larrabee, the second baseman. He will take the catch and end the inning. They will strand a runner, the Koreans, and that won't help their cause. They don't advance the score, but they stay on 3 runs and they lead San Diego after 4 completed innings here at Blacktown International by a score of 3-1. Back shortly with the 5th.
Welcome back to the 2018 World Boys Tournament here from Blacktown International Sports Park in Sydney, Australia. Brought to you by the Summer of Baseball broadcast team, courtesy of Sports Broadcasting Australia. We've got Korea playing San Diego. We're in the top of the 5th inning after a short rain delay. Game time has restored, top of 5. And the lead-off for San Diego at the plate now, Anthony Nzunza, centre fielder. I know he's been replaced. He's normally 28. That was number 21 at the plate that's there now. We'll just bring you that change. Number 21 for San Diego.
Mark Prince.
Mark Prince.
Little chopper back to the mound.
So coaching staff bringing in some changes. Mark Prince, that batter was, leading off the top of the 5th innings for San Diego. And he will probably be a straight swap into centre field, we'll suspect. We'll check that when they go out. Mark Prince, 1 up, 1 down for San Diego.
He played in left field when he came into the game in the previous game for San Diego, so big chance he will just go straight into the outfield.
And Luis Garcia back to the top of the order now. Lefty standing at the plate right now. Fastball down low, missing. Lee Ju Hyung is the pitcher on the mound for Korea. So we'll see what Gracia can do with this one. Takes a big swing and a miss. Big hack at that one. Wanted to get that well out of the outfield. So 1 up, 1 down for San Diego. and they are chasing 2 runs to square this game up. Fast ball missing outside.
Oh, that's a brave leave. We've seen that it's been the outside corner of death in this tournament. You leave one on that outside corner, you get rung up on strikes. And very, very brave leave by Gracia.
Back over the grandstand roof here at Blacktown.
That's in the car park. Souvenir ball in somebody's front seat.
Yeah, big high roof too. They fit a few thousand people into this grandstand and plenty of support here from overseas. Korea, Japan, USA.
Oh, the umpire absolutely flinched on that 2-2 pitch. he reared back ready to punch Gracia out and then held it all together and went ball 3.
Didn't pull the trigger. Did not pull the trigger.
Into the alley.
Look at the result. Straight to the centre left alley. It will go to the warning track. He's going to go to 2. I thought he was going to turn the corner and head for 3. That would have been the death knell, but he held up there. Coach caught his eye, said, "You just hold up at second base. That's good enough for us." Nice drive there.
Oh, and they say never give a sucker an even break, but the home plate umpire, he had the gun loaded, ready to fire it on Gracia. He just couldn't pull the trigger. He decided to give him an opportunity, and Gracia only needed that one opportunity to line one out into centre left and pick himself up a double.
He got a break and he made the best of that break. Now runner in scoring position with 1 out here, top of the 5th inning for San Diego. And at the plate, Shea Larrabee. Runner gets third. Slides in nicely, does Gracia.
This is a big run for San Diego. They're down by 2. If they can get this one back, just not being sure of the playing conditions, but if they can just get 1 back, that'll give them a little bit of confidence to go on with even further. Larrabee has grounded out and flied out in his 2 at-bats previously.
We might have to get the research department active here on the rules and length of the game. Another one in the clear to the left side. A 1 hop route to left fielder, Piu Ju No. Gets that one on the hop and gets it in. It's the best that could be done out there. That was a well-hit ball from San Diego, but they score that run. Cam just called it. Driven in by Shea Larrabee.
And they're all out of the dugout to pat Gracia on the head as he heads back. A little bit of confidence coming now for San Diego maybe as the Koreans scramble to the bullpen.
Yeah, momentum shift. The momentum shift takes place, and this is what happens in baseball. It's up and down. It's a roller coaster for Korea.
And Korea hasn't been down. Or, they haven't been in
really
this situation.
I
don't know that they've
pressured.
been to 7 innings. So it's really going to be interesting to see how they can adjust the pressure.
Yep, they haven't been under any real pressure. They've always been 4 or 5 runs out in front, and the team's not really challenging them. San Diego hanging in there, showing some pluck.
And, they're going to, I believe in the championship game, they're going to have to go probably 7 innings. You never know. So this is a test for the Koreans.
Well, absolutely. All likelihood you're going to be facing either Japan or Alameda, and either way, neither of those teams are going to give you an easy walkover run differential victory. It's going to be a hard-fought victory.
Well, let's see what Connor Bell can do at the plate now. He's in there working hard.
He's hit both balls to the left side of the diamond for ground outs in his first 2 at-bats.
Ooh, he wants a piece of that one.
Fastball outside low.
He's looking for that. That's what we call a submarine hanging curve, where the ball sort of comes up from the sidearm pitcher and just hangs up around belt buckle high and allows you to launch after it. And he's going to look to hit one hard. And again, I think he's going to go to the left side of the diamond. If he can get one near the line, he could probably score Larrabee, who does run well from first base. We've seen Larrabee with a good turn of foot, so he'll be trying to get a jump. And with 1 out, do you send Larrabee at some stage here, try and get him up to second base on a steal, and then try and get Connor Bell to hit him in?
Oh, that was the one. Fastball outside edge, up in the zone just a little.
I think Connor Bell is sitting on one of these curveballs. I think he's just waiting for one of these curveballs to hang around belt buckle high, and he is going to hit it and hit it hard.
Connor Bell waiting on the 1-2 pitch.
San Diego crowd getting into it now.
Up high. Leaves that one up high.
There's not a lot of people in the ballpark, but they're making a lot of noise. Maybe we can bring them back for ABL season.
They're loving their baseball. They're loving it. Maybe we could camp.
Pack them in and make
Why
a bit
not?
of noise. Get some noise happening in this venue.
Well, holds off that one and stays outside.
That was the curveball. He was looking to hit that hard, but he knew it was going to miss, and so he was able to lay off and check his swing.
Fills him up.
Very good at bat. Full count now for Connor Bell. Runner at first. Do you send him on the full count pitch and risk the strikeout throw out? Double play to end an inning. I would be sending my runner here.
Time called for the batter. Connor Bell wants to take a breath.
As the third base coach for San Diego just recoils from a sulphur-crested cockatoo that was low flying over the diamond.
That's what happened. The batter might have thought it was a signal.
Screeching as it went past the third base coach's head, several feet above it.
It's an omen.
Full count pitch, fouled off by Bell.
Good
if
defensive.
he gets a hold of one, the Koreans are in trouble.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Good defensive swing, though.
Must protect that plate. Try to tell the baseballers I play with and whatnot, once you get to that two strike, shorten up on the bat a little bit, get a little bit closer to the plate, shorten up that bat, and just make contact. Get around, make contact with anything near the plate.
There it is.
A twin killing. Connor Bell grounds into a double play, drills it straight at Jung Seo Jun, who flicks it up to his shortstop. Take fires it across to Juan, and they will turn a 4-6-3 double play, and that will be all she wrote for San Diego. But not before they do add a run, however. They will add one here in the top of the fifth inning, and they now trail Korea by 3-2, getting ever so slightly closer, but the Koreans still with a bat in hand in the bottom of this fifth inning. And back here at Blacktown International Sports Park for the bottom of the fifth inning. One defensive change for San Diego. Joseph Iglesias comes on to second base to replace Shea Larrabee. No other real changes. Lopez still throwing on the mound for San Diego. And the bottom of the fifth underway. Then starting to the top of the lineup for Korea and Roo Young Take. Oh, and that one will cop Take on the backside. And Lopez just puts his hand up. And a brief apology to say it wasn't intentional. And they know that Take's just going to take his time going up to first base. Take off all his guards and hand them to the first base coach. And it looks like you might get your pitching change now, Harrow, as it looks like Lopez is going to have a chat. He's going to be tapped on the backside by the coach and thanked for his efforts, and the boys in the dugout are going to come out and tap him on the shoulder and thank him.
Got to be a numbers game, Cam. They took him into the game as long as they could, so it's got to be the numbers on his pitch count that have taken him off the mound, I would suspect.
Absolutely, and we'll see who comes into the game.
He
Looks
did
like
well.
the right fielder's coming into the game.
No, came in from the bullpen.
Oh, he did come
Yep.
from the bullpen.
Yep.
He did well, Lopez, to come in after that long break. So a pitcher pitching so many innings, then cooling down and then having to re-warm up again. That's really tough. And so he's done a very good job, Lopez, through this game to keep them close as well. It's a one-run ball game.
Looks a bit like Declan Lynch. He was the big tall guy that we saw the other night, but we'll see if he turns around. We'll get a number on him.
Yeah, I'm sure he will right now.
Number 9. There we go, number 9. So it's not my pick. It's Sinjin Balbolia. We saw who play in the outfield a little bit in the previous game from San Diego.
Okay, so number 9, Sinjon Balbolia.
That's him.
He's got good action.
Just watching him go through his warm-up pitches. The San Diego management going to have a quick chat to the umpires.
Bottom of the 5th inning, pitching change. So a really good effort there by the starter, Emmanuel Lopez, to get through 4 complete innings here on the mound for San Diego and 1 batter. So with that hit by pitch issued, we go to the new pitcher, Sinjon Balbolia. And no other changes we can see of, except though second baseman Shea Larrabee has been replaced at second base by Joseph Iglesias. And we haven't been able to detect any other changes in the defensive lineup for San Diego.
Hasn't been any other changes, Harrow. We've been watching the umpires, and they've been pretty spot on about exactly who goes where and why and how. In a previous game, we had an umpire even was turning the players around for us, made it very easy for us.
Very good.
But as long as they're notifying the changes and making them clear hand signals, which is all we can ask from the umpires, they're doing a really good job out here so far this week, the umpires. And they continue to do it here today, as we see Balbolia head to the mound to take on Yong Seo Jun. So we've seen Roo Young Take, who is standing at first base. Every time he's been up there, he's stolen second and stolen third. We'll see how he goes this time around. Will he use his wheels again? I would imagine so, especially with the first pitch on the new pitcher. But we'll see what he does here, as Balbolia is ready to fire off his first pitch to Jun, but he doesn't. He goes at Take.
Yeah, I think Balbolia might have been given a little bit of a clue by the coaching staff, just to keep an eye on the runner.
They've got to know the runner's going to go. He's gone every other time. It might not be first pitch, but I'll guarantee he goes within the first 2. They were expecting it was a bit of a half.
You said they do the opposite of what you call, Cam.
It was half a pitch out there from Balbolia, because he was off the mound. The moment he threw it, he was off the mound, making room for Jacob Savoy to throw across to second base, and the pitch was outside and high, which is where you would normally throw a pitch out to make it easier for the catcher. But Run Jung Take not going on that first pitch. And again, they come over to Take, and Take slides back into first base safely. I would be expecting Take to either probably go on this pitch, I would imagine.
He just had a glance back into the dugout as well, did Balbolia, as he walked back to the centre of the mound.
Balbolia steps off the back again. Again, Take heads back to first base. So they are really concerned with a 1-run ball game, really concerned with the speed of Take at first base. Because if he goes second to third with nobody out, almost guarantees the Koreans 1 more run. And in a ball game that's going to be as tight as it is, here he goes. He was going. It's in time. This is out. This should be out. They've nailed him. Great throw from Jacob Savoy, and a great tag by the shortstop. No, it's in fact the second baseman. It was Iglesias getting across there to make the tag. So Iglesias applies a really handy tag, and they nail Roo Young Take at second base. That's a big play in the context of a 1-run ball game.
Great baseball. Excellent baseball. And that was the closest play as you could want as well. The umpire right there over the top of it. Nothing in it. Great sliding. great base running, great base throwing as well from that catcher Savoy.
There's a good pitch in for a called strike for Balbolia. 2 balls, 1 strike on Jun.
How's Iglesias coming into this innings fresh and getting that out?
But you had to know the runner was going. They were aware of it. They were ready for it. And so we've seen Savoy with a couple of very powerful, very good throws over to second base that have just been a fraction off the money to get the runner. This time when they really needed him to come through, he puts the throw absolutely on the money. And it gets it in there for that out. Young fouls one off to take the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Research department has just confirmed the game will go 7 innings.
Okay, so it will be a complete 7-inning game. Beautiful.
Semi-final.
We thought as much, but we just wanted to make sure. Swing and a miss, and that will be it for Jun. He got a little foul on it. He got a bit of bat on it. I thought he'd swung through it and gone down on strikes, but he gets a little bit of bat on it to save his bacon.
And just hit the catcher's glove.
Yeah, it went down in front of the catcher, but it wasn't going to be a problem, I don't think, for Savoy to have picked it up and tagged him. But now another 2-2 pitch and an excuse me swing. Just hung the bat out there. He wasn't committing to the swing, and the more of the ball finding the bat than the bat finding the ball. Just rolls away towards the San Diego dugout.
Yang has a bit of a smile.
He wasn't sure whether he wanted to go after it or not, and the ball was returned to the umpire, and the umpire throws it back to the dugout and says, no, I don't want that.
Take a safety, just knock it over there.
It's got mud on it. Not putting that into the ball satchel. Another 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball again at the last minute. Jun decides he's going to throw the bat at it, and he just slaps it foul over the first base dugout, out of play and onto the entrance road here at Blacktown International Sports Park.
Just a little lunge, a defensive lunge to protect that plate.
Again, that pitch was very close to that outside corner, which has been getting called all tournament. So probably a good decision by Jung to throw the bat at it. We'll see what Balbolia can offer up here. Comes to the plate again. Tried a curveball and misses it low and outside. That will fill the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Bottom of the 5th innings, 1-run ball game.
Balbolia fires fastball. This one is fouled off down the first base line again. It'll get into the bullpen down there in deep right field. So Jun doing a good job of just taking as many pitches as he can, doing whatever he can to keep fighting away in there. These are the at-bats that the management love to see. You sort of get down a little bit, you stay patient, you fight off a couple of good pitches, and then more often than not, you get rewarded. We'll see if he gets rewarded here, Jun. He does. It's a comebacker, though. They're getting off the mound really nicely, Balbolia. He'll just underhand it from about 2 yards. Could have run it to the base himself, but he decides to underhand it for the out to Lancia at first base. And a good result for San Diego, but a very good at-bat for Young Seong Jun.
A very good stop by Balbolia before he got to first base. As you said, Cam, he wasn't very far away, and he thought, I better stop and give him part of the game. So he shared that out with his first baseman, Stephen Lancia, and they did a good job. They've got 2 up, 2 down now on Korea in this bottom of the 5th innings with Han Tae-young at the plate, the designated hitter.
He hits it hard, going to get it into the 5-6 hole for a base hit. So Yang, the designated hitter, pits out his second hit of the morning. And he will stand aboard first base with 2 out. 2 out single to Yang.
And I've got to say, in his first 2 appearances, the first one was a high fly ball to the right field side. It was a well-hit ball. Second time, single to centre field. Now single to left. Designated hitter, doing a good job.
Cho Wong Tae.
Fly to 7, a fly to 8 in his first 2 appearances.
Yeah, the second one was a sac fly, so that won't count against him. That was an RBI for him. Goes high into the air again. This one should be all over for Inzunza. He is all over it. And that will be all she wrote for the Koreans here in the 5th.
Good effort there by the San Diego defence, I should say. They got 4 batters up. They got 3 of them out. No runs scored. They keep this game as a 1-run ball game. So it is Korea leading San Diego by 3 runs to 2.
And welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park, where we're ready to go into the top of the 6th inning. Confirmation that this game will go a complete 7 innings. So that being the case, we have a couple of innings to go. And it will be Stephen Lancia to start things off for San Diego, facing Lee Jun-hyung on the mound. A defensive change for the Koreans. A new catcher has come into the game, Moon Hyung-jin. He comes in behind the dish. And we're underway here in the top of the 6th inning.
The wind's starting to pick up a little bit out there. You can see the flags are...
That one ripped down the left field line, just gone foul. Lancia thought he had it inside the line, but it just tailed against this breeze. Landed maybe 6 inches outside the line, but that was it. That was all it was. It wasn't far outside the line at all. But unfortunately for Lancia, it just counts as a strike. But yeah, the wind and as I said, it's a slightly unusual breeze here at Blacktown. Generally, we get the wind blowing in 9 times out of 10 at this ballpark. But this wind seems to be going from almost from third base out to right field. So one that'll assist the hitters that can hit anything to right field. But Lancia is set into the box again. Takes the next pitch for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike on Lancia. Lancia hits his next one hard, but it'll get out of play as well. Down the first base line this time. And the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lancia has struck out and flied out to centre field in his 2 at-bats so far today. And it's been the lead-off in both of the innings. So in all of the even-numbered innings, Stephen Lancia has led off. He was the lead-off in the 2nd inning, where he flied out to centre field. Lead-off in the 4th innings, where he struck out. Can he find a base hit to lead off here? 2-2 pitch on its way. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes will go Stephen Lancia. Nice pitch from Hyung to get him swinging.
Certainly was an excellent pitch. He just put a little bit more chili on that one, heated it up a little, and threw that tempter into the zone for Lancia. He knew he wanted to get a hit, and he just threw it in there around abouts.
So they use wasabi in Korea, or is that a Japanese? Is that the way the Japanese heat it up?
No, it's everywhere. Yeah, wasabi. That's good.
Hector Milan into the batter's box now. First pitch misses low.
Certainly clears the sinuses, a little dip of wasabi, and you don't need very much either, right, once you learn how to say it.
And the next pitch also misses downstairs.
I always find it quite amazing when you get a pitcher coming in with fastball, who gets faster and faster. Batters try to hit them harder and harder, and it very often fails.
Batting is very simple, but Harrow, I keep trying to make that clear. It is just a matter of timing. You just need to get the barrel of the bat onto the baseball, and the rest is done by angles and velocities.
Probably the faster the pitcher's coming in, the slower you need the bat to move.
This one chopped down the third base line, stays fair. It's going to be a tough play for Chan. He tries to hop it over to first base. It's not going to work. It gets away from the first baseman. It's sliding in head first into second base. Will be Hector Milan. It was always going to be a tough play at third base for Lee Yu Chan. It was hard up against the line, and it was the longest throw there is on a baseball diamond to try and get it out. He was backhanded to the line at third base. He balanced up, made the throw, was trying to one-hop it across to Juan there at first base. And Juan really should have given up the bag and gone after the baseball. He tried to hang on to the bag, and as a result, the baseball got away from him, and that allowed Milan to get around to second base in scoring position. And now the tying run stands at second base for San Diego, and the Koreans, they're feeling a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, and again, but if Chan doesn't cut that ball off, it's a stand-up double anyway with possible third play. But Chan did a good job cutting it off and just couldn't control that throw perfectly. But as you said, if they get off and block it, he's still locked in at first base. However, they get the extra base. Now they're in scoring position, and they're checking on the shortstop.
Yeah, he had a leg injury after sliding into second base earlier in the game. That's Roo Young Taek.
Yeah.
And just as the ball got away from first baseman, the second baseman was across covering first base anyway on the throw. So he went around to make sure that he could sort of get behind and get it. And Taek had to come and take the throw at second base as Milan slid in. and he just stretched a bit awkwardly. I think they're going to leave him in the game. Looks like they are going to leave him in the game. The umpire just having a chat to the Korean translator. That is the man with the Gangnam style haircut, the nice big sunglasses and the mohawk.
He's their interpreter.
He is their translator
Eddie.
interpreter.
Yeah, he lives in Sydney, Australia.
And look at that, Harrow. The sun breaks through here at Blacktown. You can see it on the screen. The sun is out.
Well, Eddie went out on the diamond, didn't he?
He does. Well, yeah, that's it. I suppose the sun always shines wherever Eddie is. No changes, however. Just checking on the welfare of Ru Jung Taek, the shortstop. That will bring Jacob Christian to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a single. So he and Lopez have basically been the strength of the batting lineup for San Diego. Oh, very unlucky there for San Diego. Wild pitch. It cannoned off the catcher into the umpire, I believe, and then straight back down in front of the catcher. If that doesn't catch the umpire, it gets to the back netting, and they've got a runner at third with only one out. A little bit of an unlucky break that for San Diego.
Well, let's see what Christian can do here. He's got his runner in scoring position. As you called it, Cam, tying run right there.
Hits this one down the first base side out of play. It'll stay inside the complex, but only just. The count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike on Jacob Christian. Runner at second base, 1 away. It is 3-2 Korea over San Diego. But the boys from San Diego really putting it to the Koreans here in this first semi-final.
And both the pitcher and the catcher looking at the dugout. Their coach waving his arms around and giving them clear instructions.
Comes to the plate. Christian swings through it. The strike 2.
Oh, there's some tension here, top of the 6th innings in a 7-inning game.
It's a cracking game of baseball. The first time we've really seen the Koreans put under any sort of pressure.
1 out.
At the moment, they're hanging on, but that's what they are doing. They're absolutely hanging on. San Diego throwing everything at them. Christian gets one inside, sways out of the way. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Pressure point in this game right here. That's all opportunity for San Diego, and the Korean side know it.
They've got to find a way to get Christian at the plate. Massive second out here if they can get Christian at the plate. Crowd knows it too. The 2-2 pitch on its way. A swing and a miss from Christian, and he will go down on strikes. A massive out for Lee Jung Hyung and the Koreans as they get the second out here in the top of the 6th inning.
And now at the plate, the replacement pitcher, Sinjin Balbolia, to replace Emmanuel Lopez in the batter's box. So the opportunity still there. Runner in scoring position, 2 out. Top of the 6th inning. Trailing by 1 run, San Diego. Tying run stands at second.
Balbolia has had a hit in the tournament and previous on this diamond. He, as far as I can tell from my very modest scorebooking scrapping that I do to try and keep track of the game, went 2 for 3 on the diamond here against, who were they playing there? The Sky Roos on that occasion here on the diamond was 2 for 3 with 2 singles, 1 to centre, 1 to right field. So we'll see how Balbolia goes here.
Well, they need him now. They need him to at least get on base and keep the pressure on the Koreans.
Must get a base hit to try and score the runner from second base. Allows that one to pass low and inside. Has to get himself into a good hitting position here. Try and get ahead of the pitcher, which he's done early here at 1-0.
Unusually the manager on the fence and the pitcher looking back in at him and getting instructions. They're not being relayed through the catcher anymore.
No point. Cut out the middleman, Harrow. Let's go straight from the manager. Fastball, it misses low as well.
There was
2 straight balls.
Change of catcher in all of that as well, Cam.
Yeah, we didn't announce that. It's Moon Hyung Jin.
Thank you.
Has come into the game there as the catcher. Number 25.
Thank you.
But a 2-0 pitch now ready to be thrown at Balbolia. He swings at it, as you probably should when you're trying to tie the baseball game up. You've got to get yourself into those hitting situations. The 2-0 pitch was a good one. He went after it, couldn't come up with it. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now an interesting position for Balbolia. Young has a look back to second base, comes to the plate. This one's lifted foul over the first base side, out of play. The count 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, and the tying run standing 180 feet away from home plate at second base.
Imagine if San Diego can score this run and tie it up.
I know the San Diego crowd would go wild.
Inning and a half to go.
It would certainly make for some interesting baseball.
2-2 pitch coming now.
Young's 2-2 pitch is right on the money for strike number 3. It was straight down the centre of the plate. The problem was going to be the height. And our home plate umpire says strike number 3, pulls the trigger on that K2. And that will be it for Balbolia and San Diego. They threaten, but they strand the runner at second base. And after 5.5 innings here at Blacktown International Sports Park, it is Korea 3 and San Diego 2.
And welcome back to the 2018 World Boys Tournament here at Blacktown Olympic Park. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, leading off for Korea, Chao Soo-jin, number 13, at the plate now. A scoreline of 3-2. Korea leading San Diego in a very tense game.
0 for 2 so far this morning, Cho Si-jin, or I suppose we're into this afternoon now, aren't we? But this morning he was doing that sort of damage.
Yeah, game 2, the second semi-final here this afternoon, delayed because of an earlier rain delay. This game scheduled to go 7 innings. Or a result.
Oh, Balbolia just missing the outside edge there. 2 balls, 1 strike. He thought he should have got that call. He stared in hard at the home plate umpire, almost begging him to try and give him that pitch, but not to be.
The Korean bench, they're making a lot of noise over there. They're getting fired up.
Starting to sing over there. They think that they're almost there. Balbolia will get that one, however. That'll tie it at 2-2.
It was fun to watch in that rain delay. Both teams went out into left field, and they were racing each other.
They were having races. They were stealing each other's hats. They were having all sorts of fun out there in the rain in left field.
It is a friendship series.
That's close. It's strike 3. It's better than close.
Froze him.
It was a lovely curveball from Sinjan Balbolia, and it was just a case of whether or not it reached the plate. It did. I don't think Jin was overly happy with the call, but he's in the dugout. He's gone down looking at strike number 3 for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Pinch hit and out. Number 25 steps in.
25, here's the catcher.
Moon Hye Jin.
Yep.
Oh, yes, the replacement
the
catcher,
replacement
of course
catcher.
he is.
He hits it hard, but he hits it to third base. Connor Bell comes forward, gets it before it bounces on a second occasion, which is a big effort for the third baseman, and then makes the throw as comfortable as you like across the diamond for the out. That's a massive play when that third baseman can get forward before that ball bounces for a second occasion, because if it comes off the bat with a little bit of top spin, it often will take that second bounce and take a real unusual kick. If you can get in and charge in and get that ball before it bounces that second time, it makes your job so much easier. A great play by Connor Bell at San Diego. 2 up, 2 down for them here in the bottom of the 6th. They're doing all they can to stop any Korean offense, and so far so good.
Pyoju No at the plate now. Pyoju No takes that first pitch for a ball. Sinjun Balbolia throws the next one right in the heart of the zone. It's in the area, gets bat to ball, drives it high though, flips it up to right field. Out there deep is Luis Gracia, and he gets that third out. So Korea in the bottom of the 6th inning cannot add to their tally. They go 3 up, 3 down. The score remains 3 runs to 2. Korea leading San Diego.
Almost a perfect innings for San Diego there. They needed something to keep the momentum going, to keep their spirits up as they head to this 7th and final inning, trailing by 1 run. And that was the perfect 3 up, 3 down innings to do it. So they'll take a little bit of momentum in. They'll get into a huddle down there in the dugout. Manager has a couple of quiet words in their ears and you know, basically sort of says to them, boys, this is it. This is all on the line here.
Yep. Korea 3 outs away from going to the championship game tomorrow.
You know, and you see all the Korean coaches, they're out and they're talking. We haven't seen that much in this.
All of a sudden pressure,
this
isn't it? A
tournament,
little bit of pressure on the Koreans, and it hasn't been that massively dominant performance we expect from the Koreans. And the Korean management, he's going to call in a new pitcher. He's waving in somebody from the bullpen. Might be one of the bullpen catchers to come and play shortstop. They are going to change their shortstop over by the looks of things.
The San Diego bench, they're fired up. They just, broke down and they're ready to go.
There are going to be some changes going out on the diamond. See what happens there.
There's a blue on in the broadcast box.
Yeah, no, Mackenzie forgot we've got a box open above her head.
I ran right into that box.
Number 20.
You're not the only one. We all do that. I walk into doors.
So that's what you tell people.
Yeah, I don't know that I would say that out loud.
No,
Here he goes. 19, is it 16?
Looks like that's 16 heading to second base. 16 is
shortstop.
Hung Tae Yang. He's gone to shortstop. Jun stays at second base. So we thought we saw Tae come out of the game. He had a few problems with his leg that we saw in that previous inning. So he has come out of the game, Rouge Young Tae. And he's been replaced by number 16, and that is
Han Tae-young, who was already in the lineup as DH.
Okay, so the DH has come in.
Yeah, Rouge Young Tak had a problem with his ankle or his shin somewhere there. It got hurt. So Hang Tae-cook goes from DH into the shortstop position. So Korea will effectively simply just lose the DH.
They just lose their DH. That is correct, Harrow. And just looking around to see whether there's any other changes. Doesn't appear to be any other changes.
Although there would be a replacement. Because Tak was batting at the top of the order, so there's got to be a change there somewhere for him. Does there or doesn't there?
Not sure what just happened there, but something happened with the San Diego coach. And he's got a massive big smile on his face, whether or not he put in a bad stride or something, but it certainly brought a big cheer from the dugout and the supporters of the San Diego team.
I really think that they're just fired up. They're excited,
Change
to be in this
base.
position.
First base change, number 17 for Korea.
Is Cho Won Tae?
Sorry, Mackenzie.
To be in this position, I'm sure that it was a stretch for them thinking that they could be
They were probably coming
down
in,
one
probably
coming into the
thinking
seventh.
if we can beat run differential, we'll be happy. If we can stretch this out to a 7-inning game, but to be in the 7th inning with a real chance to knock Korea off,
Yeah.
got to be happy with their performance.
And I think it's going to take one hot bat, one good hit to get this team going.
Well, we're going to have some more changes from the Koreans now as the manager comes back to issue some more instructions.
So Hyung is still on the mound. That's a start. Catcher is still 26. Still Moon Hyun Jin. Just got to check the rest of the infield here, because with that shortstop leaving, he had batting position, but the DH also had a batting position.
Come back into the game at the moment, so they haven't. They're going to overturn that. That's Roo Young Take heading out and standing on the top of second base now, heading out to right field, it looks like.
Is 7.
That is Rung Jae Take. He was the shortstop. He was the one that had the problem with his legs.
He's heading to right field.
He's heading
is
out
that
to
correct?
right field, yeah. So they're going to cancel that transaction. So Roo Young Take heading out to right field. He is obviously their superstar.
Okay, so the 7 is out there. Cho Won Tae, where is he? 17 is at first
Yeah,
base.
Cho Won Tae, we've got that at first
Just trying
base.
to pick up third and second.
Third base hasn't chased. That's Chan.
23.
That's Lee Yu Chan.
We'll just reconfirm.
Pretty sure it's
shortstop.
Yang Si Jun, number 2 at second base.
Yep.
And the replacement that we had going on into shortstop hasn't changed. So that's Hyang. Han Tae Hyang, number 16.
Yep, still there.
Is it 16 or 18? Is he just...
I'm pretty sure it was 16.
Around. That looks like an 18 to me, Harrow. Although my eyes aren't great at this distance anymore.
In center field.
Centre field has changed.
Second base, as we said it.
That's a 16, I think.
Okay. Any other change could only be in the outfield. But Taker's still in, probably because of that batting change. He will still bat top of the order. So it solves that problem.
They've probably looked at that, thinking that if they do need a run, with Take being the third batter due up in the bottom of the 7th inning for Korea, that they'd like to have him in the game.
We still need a replacement for the right fielder who came out, Cho Won Tae. We'll get to it in the batting lineup, I'm sure, if we get to the batting lineup.
A called strike to start things off against Jacob Savvy.
No, it's number 10. There's a change there for San Diego. Number 10 in the batter's box, Tyson Orzel.
Orzel takes over.
Tyson Orzel in there for Jacob Savoy.
He really wanted a piece of that one. You could tell he was just a little bit
He
hesitant.
sort of lined up for it, decided to hang off at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trying to protect his plate a little bit too. That one's closer. That one's very close.
Rings him up.
Strike 3. Not what you need when you're chasing a run to go down looking at strike 3. Got to try and lay some bat on ball.
Yeah, poor plate defence there, I'm afraid to say, as he wasn't interested in that pitch no matter where it was. He was taking it all the way, and he did that to his own peril. So Korea 2 outs away from going to the championship game. Number 28 steps in, Anthony Nzunza.
So there's a
re-entry.
Yeah, obviously the re-entry there for Mark Prince, who batted for him last time around in his position.
Yeah.
There are re-entry rules being a friendship tournament.
Yep. So it's Nzunza back in the lineup here. Second batter to step in. 9th in the starting lineup. Needs to get something going.
Starts off okay. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nzunza is the one that did the hard line drive straight to the first baseman's glove in the top of the 3rd inning.
I'll be liking Liking him to just lift it over the top. That same ball just to go over the top of the first baseman now.
Oh, he liked that one.
But a nice off-speed pitch from Hyung. He took a little bit of pace off it, and Inzunza was way out in front. So a good change of pace. Now does he come back with the fastball, or does he come back with that big breaking pitch? Let's see. The 1-2 pitch. Now a little foul tip into the glove of Jun, and that will be strikeout number 2 for Lee Young Hung.
One out from the championship game, Korea.
They haven't been at their best, I don't think, the Koreans, but they're 1 out away from advancing to a showdown with either Alameda or Japan.
Who will play in the next game following this one.
Low and outside the first pitch, back to Luis Gracia.
Japan players have just walked into the grandstand with their bags on their shoulder. They are very well organised and well drilled. They've just come in to sit down and watch the closing part of this game.
They'll have been out in the hitting tunnels, I would almost guarantee, Harrow. That one just can't break back enough either, just misses outside.
The Alameda players were here earlier watching all of this game, and it's only in the last 2 innings they've gone out to the batting cages to go through warm-up routines.
Low and inside. Ball number 3. That would make the Korean pitcher and probably the Korean managers very unsettled and unhappy if they put the tying run aboard courtesy of a base on balls, especially with 2 out. There's one down the centre of the tube for a strike. 3-1. Now the big test for Luis Gracia. Does he swing at a 3-1 pitch, or does he take 2 more pitches and take his chances?
Would be an appropriate finish to this exciting game.
He swings, fouls one off, full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Top of the 7th inning. It is 3-2. Korea over San Diego. Full count pitch on its way, swung on, popped up into left field. Should be an easy catch for no. He does take it, and the Koreans will win. They will hang on for a 3-2 victory over San Diego. But I'll tell you folks that was much, much tougher than the Koreans were expecting when they rocked up to the ballpark at 8 a.m. this morning. They throw in a rain delay, throw in a very plucky San Diego team, and the Koreans will advance. But it will be through hard-fought effort rather than the dominance they have shown in the early part of this tournament. Massive effort from the San Diego boys to get up and really put that pressure on Korea. But in the end, they just couldn't find enough offense against the Koreans to really put them to the sword.
That certainly was, Cam. A fantastic game of baseball for a semi-final game between these 2 great clubs. It was absolutely sensational. And for San Diego, they scored their 2 runs off 6 hits, and they left 5 runners on base. And if they could have converted one of those runs, it would have been...
You wait for this line, though, Parro. This is the line that'll surprise people. The winning team?
The winning team, Korea, scored 3 runs. They got their 3 runs off 3 hits, and they left 4 runners stranded. Left 4 on base as well, but 3 runs off 3 hits. Perfect conversion rate.
The problem for San Diego in the long run, when they look back at the statistics, will be the walks.
Yep.
They issued up 6 walks from my very limited scorecard.
And I've got to say, Mackenzie's got the perfect shot there with these teams.
All the
at
boys,
home
yep,
plate.
posing,
What a great shot there for all of the
for
fans
photos and,
all around the world. Both clubs together, San Diego and Korea, all at home plate. And we've got it right there on our home plate camera. Well done, Mackenzie. Perfect shot to show all around the world. And of course, this broadcast will remain on YouTube for you to view afterwards. The boys can fly home to wherever they go to at the end of the week, and they can get home and look at that from the comfort of their lounge rooms on the great big TV at home. Put the 55-inch TV on and away you go, and you can watch the replay of this sensational game between these 2 clubs. Pretty soon we'll be back. We're going to take a break between games, and we'll be back for semi-final number 2, which will be between Japan and Alameda. Thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends and family. Tune in about 30 minutes' time. Bye for now.